Hi, TJ Chambers, ADHD Smart Guy from ADHDawareness.com. I want to talk to you about the causes of ADHD. And there's a lot of information and a lot of different things that people talk about that cause ADHD. But I think the main thing is not necessarily what causes ADHD, but what makes the symptoms so bad that people need to be put on medication. Now, some things that may cause ADHD symptoms when um, people may not necessarily have ADHD, like sleep. If you don't get enough sleep or rest, because you might sleep all night, but if you twist and turn all night, or you have some kind of sleeping problem where you're not getting enough oxygen, maybe you have allergies and you're really stuffed up all night long, and this is frequently happening, then you may not get enough rest. And so you might have attention problems, you can't focus, you might be moody. So some of these kind of things aren't necessarily ADHD, it's just sleep, sleep problem. I do personally know some people that one, there's a child that their teacher was saying that she has ADHD and she probably should get put on medication. And the child was from a third world country, and half of her brain had to be removed. So this is a child that functions pretty normal, and she only has half a brain. And so the teacher thinks she has ADHD, but no, she has half a brain. So for her to, function very well the way she does is pretty amazing. I've talked to people where their grandchildren were born to a mother that was addicted to drugs, drugs like crack cocaine, and so while the child was developing, the child has developmental issues because of of course, a poor diet. If you're addicted to drugs, you're not going to have a good diet. And then you have all the drugs that are in the body that are affecting the child's development. So the child has developmental issues and not necessarily ADHD. It's just that the brain didn't develop properly, probably different organs and different parts of the body didn't develop properly. So, medicating these children that have developmental issues are, I think that's just wrong. When you have half a brain and you want to use medication because the children doesn't seem to be like everybody else, or a baby was born to a mother that's addicted to drugs and they have issues and you want to medicate them because of that, I don't really see it as having ADHD. Now, most people that have ADHD, they just, from my experience and what I've been reading and learning about myself and others, is that these people have sensitivities um, to different foods and ingredients and things like that. So when a person with ADHD, when they consume sugar, then what happens is it affects them differently. It gives them instant energy, and they're wired and they're hyperactive and they're all over the place. There's like gluten. They tend to have gluten intolerance. So when they get gluten in their system, it affects them. They might not be able to concentrate or focus or have mood swings. And same thing with the dairy and possibly even eggs. And a lot of processed foods have a lot of ingredients. And so what happens is all these ingredients and these foods cause children and adults with ADHD to not be able to function because of all these symptoms. And so these are some causes of ADHD symptoms to be so extreme to where they need to be put on medication. So it's mainly related to a poor diet. Now there have other studies been done, one by Dr. Block out of Houston, Texas, and by many others that shots like immunization shots, flu shots, they tend to have heavy metals in them, and they have proteins where they develop the antibodies and all that. These foreign proteins get into the body and they start causing all these reactions. So you actually have these heavy metals get into the bodies and causing ADHD symptoms, problems for people. And there are plenty of doctors and specialists who say this is not true. But there's plenty of people saying, yes, this is true. And who needs mercury or aluminum in your body? So these tend to be ingredients in these shots, even though they say they removed them or they're not there, but there's proof that they are there. And you can go to Dr. Mercola's website or Dr. Ann Block out of Houston. She has plenty of research on this to prove that it's true. So these are some different things that are causes of ADHD and elevated symptoms. And one other thing is that brain injury. So anyone that may have had a brain injury from car accidents or whatever, they may have symptoms of ADHD, and it doesn't need to be treated with medication. It's just there's damage. There's a brain damage, and so it may not be you may not be able to repair that, fix that. It's just, it's kind of like if you break your hand, you can't use it. You can't use your hand like everybody else does unless it can fully heal. A possible additional cause for ADHD symptoms is that lack of vitamins and minerals. Calcium magnesium is known to help calm a person when they take it and help them go to sleep and not be hyperactive. And so this is something that could be a problem that's causing ADHD symptoms. And so when a person takes a supplement, then there's a calmness. Now, all this goes back to a poor diet. So when you don't have a diet that has good calcium and good magnesium in it, then your body's going to be deficient in it. And also another vitamin that's been known to be really good and beneficial, and something that's lacking in people with ADHD, is B vitamins. B vitamins are excellent for the body, excellent for the brain, and you can read about that on my website under the B vitamins. And so getting a good diet, getting good vitamins and the good minerals are really good for helping to reduce the symptoms of ADHD, and not looking at ADHD as something that needs to be cured. So it's just you got to reduce the symptoms and provide a healthy diet, because ADHD it's a disorder. It's just a set of symptoms that's acting out of the ordinary. So it's not a disease that needs to be cured, not necessarily something that needs to be fixed. So providing a proper diet, then someone with ADHD that's having these symptoms based upon a very poor diet, which is a majority of people, then they can function normally, even though they'll still have, some of their symptoms. It's just not going to affect them negatively where they can't do things that most people can do. So that's just my my thoughts on causes of ADHD, and feel free to visit my website, and you can leave any comments. You can write me, ask any questions, and if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to write me.